Welcome, faithful followers of the green and white, to women's soccer here at Vikings Field. Today's interconference matchup pits the visiting Seahawks of Cabrillo College against your DVC Vikings. Vikings are 0-4 on the season after 2 defeats last week. The Seahawks come in at 1-1 with a loss to the reigning state champions and a win over Yuba. Without any further ado, here are today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Seahawks, coached by Gladys Mondragon, assisted by Lauren Inman. The captain, a redshirt sophomore midfielder out of Lee, number 3, Marissa Freeman. The rest of the Cabrillo starters, a sophomore goalkeeper out of Aptos, number 1, Alessandra Zuniga. A freshman forward out of Watsonville, number 5, Lily Zavala. A freshman defender out of Soquel, number 7, Arden Sales-Cunha. A sophomore defender out of St. Francis, number 8, Monse Ramirez. A freshman forward out of Pajaro Valley, number 9, Valeria Acosta. A freshman midfielder forward out of Watsonville, number 10, Yamilet Madueño. A sophomore forward out of Aptos, number 11, Angelique Nunez. A freshman midfielder and forward out of Watsonville, number 14, Yadira Gonzalez. A freshman defender out of San Lorenzo Valley, number 17, Naomi Stiles. And a freshman midfielder forward out of Soquel, number 19, Isela Gonzalez. And now for your DVC Vikings, coached by Colleen Mullins and assisted by Sam Lubasic and Tino Takuba. The captains, a sophomore defender and midfielder out of Doherty Valley, number 24, Maila Hicks. And a sophomore midfielder forward out of Cal High, number 27, Alina Rodriguez. The rest of the starters for the green and white. A freshman goalkeeper out of Concord, number 0, Isabella Hernandez. A freshman defender and forward out of Marine Christian, number 2, Hannah Morel. A freshman defender forward out of Liberty, number 3, Cami Regas. A freshman midfielder forward out of Northgate, number 7, Anjali Huber. A freshman defender out of Liberty, number 12, Amanda Robertson. A redshirt sophomore defender out of Dublin, number 14, Sophia Loera. A sophomore midfielder forward out of EI, number 17, Miki Miyazaki. A sophomore forward out of Northgate, number 21, Hannah Walden. And a freshman defender out of Clayton Valley, number 26, Jocelyn Pelcastre. Today's officials are Domenico De Luca in the center, assisted by Sonny Teo on the player bench sideline, and Henry Warmadam on the spectator stand sideline. We ask that you please remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score! And DVC walk it off!
Best line step. He looks down the middle of the field. He's going to throw the ball right. Has a man in the field. Intercepted! Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline. He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. And that's how you cap the game up.
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand. Jasmine got it! threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards? Edwards needs to get the shot up. Pulls up a deep three. Able to knock it down.
The counter-attack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes down. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus. And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California. Welcome, faithful followers of the green and white, to coverage of women's soccer here on DVC Vikings Live. Today, the third home match for Colleen Mullen's green and white, as they will be taking on the Seahawks of Cabrillo in just mere moments. Huddles currently in place as the referees inspect things around the field. These two teams come in with slightly opposing experiences of last week. For DVC, it was a pair of losses suffered to Skyline and Chabot College. Those two losses having a pair of common threads to them. One of them, a goal from Anjali Huber, who has scored both of the Vikings' tallies so far. One of them off of a lovely coral action in the midfield late in the 3-1 loss to Skyline. Cami Regas eventually with the assist on that one to the far post, but Miki Miyazaki, Molly Rattery, almost everybody, it seemed, had their fingerprints on that goal. The latter one in the 3rd minute of the game against Chabot, giving the Vikings their lone lead of the season as they were able to convert off of a free kick from the boot of Hannah Morell. The other common factor between those two is a lot of goals between minutes number 32 and 52. In fact, if you divide the game into thirds, so far the Vikings have outscored opposition 1-0 in the opening 30 minutes. They've been outscored 2-1 in the closing 30 minutes. The middle, they've been outscored 6-0. It has been a bit of an issue for them. We take one more look here at the starters as we get ready for kickoff, and we seem to be just about ready for that at midfield. No changes for the Vikings. One player available on the bench, and that is Emma Soboleski. Otherwise, it is that same 11, Hernandez at the back, and again, the dangerous Huber and Regas up towards the front. So far, Cabrillo College working on a win and a loss. They started the season by falling 4-0 to the defending state champions from Folsom Lake, as they are in the white and in possession at the moment, attacking from right to left. DVC in the home green to black gradient, black shorts, green socks. To Cabrillo College falling to a 4-0 defeat to the state champions Folsom Lake. That's DVC's conference mate, of course, on opening day. And then last Tuesday, played against them played against Yuba in Aptos in their home opener and won that game 8-1. Unfortunately, no indications of exactly who the goal scorers were on the 3C2 website, and so today we're going to be flying a little blind in terms of who the danger women are. I don't know if that's by design or not. We do have a trip over the ball from Yadira Gonzalez, and the ball taken away by the Vikings inside the center circle, and it's going to be Hannah Morell looking to spring the attack, looking for Huber. That was the connection that led to the opener 4 days ago here in Pleasant Hill. Morell still trying to contend for it as it's taken away for a moment by Monse Ramirez. Up ahead here for Marissa Freeman, the captain of this side here, as we are just a minute and 15 seconds in. Ball dropped back to Gonzalez. Now up ahead for the 10, Madueño. Up ahead now on the left side as you see the attack developing here for Cabrillo. It is the 9, Valeria Acosta, and the 19, Isela Gonzalez in that vicinity. It's Gonzalez who gets it to go off of the Vikings' Jocelyn Pelcastre, who had some struggles late physically in the game on Friday and is immediately coming up the worse for a challenge. It looks like we will have an immediate substitution, and Emma Soboleski needing to get herself warm in a hurry as Pelcastre comes off. That is not a good sign, especially given how this match developed in Aptos last year. Substitution for the Vikings into the game, number 8, Emma Soboleski. In that game, the Vikings had 12 healthy players after a spate of injuries in the prior week. And 20 minutes into that game, lost their one substitute, or rather lost one of their starters, which forced their one substitute, who was Hannah Walden that day, into the game, and they had to play with those 11 for the final 70 minutes. Full credit to the Vikings in that game in Aptos. They managed to survive until the 74th without conceding a goal when a free kick from Sadie Strout put the lone tally on the board. A 1-0 defeat for DVC, and first time Cabrillo had gotten the better of the green and white in quite a while. It's actually the first time they'd played against each other, for that matter, in quite a while. A little bit of danger there as it's worked to Loera, now up ahead for Regas. And she finds the green grass and the happy feet of Hannah Morell. Up ahead now for Soboleski, looking for the overlap of Huber up the right side. She's got a step on the 17, Styles, working to the right side. Now slows up, looking for a cross. This one towards the 6, stopped at the front of it by the number 7, Salas Cunha. Cleared away. Cabrillo come away with it on the right wing. Lily Zavala moving into that space. Windy day here in Pleasant Hill. Certainly coming into our field mic and broadcast microphone, which at some point in the pregame lost its wind shield. So you're going to hear a lot of it. Tried messing with the field mic to see if that was the one that was the offender. Nope, it's mine. It is more or less at my back and across me from right to left, which means that it is in the face of the Vikings here in this first half. Ball taken away from Morell by the 10, Madueño. Coming forward here, she's flanked by a pair of teammates, tries the 1-2 inside, doesn't come off, does finally come free, and that is the first shot on goal of today's match, going the way of the Cabrillo College Seahawks. Four days ago, the first Viking shot on goal found the back of the net, as Soboleski looks to step her way around the opposing number 8. Ramirez does well, now doubled up by the defender on that side, Styles. Up ahead for Madueño. Tracking back is Alina Rodriguez. Madueño hits the deck. Little slippery here. Had some rain this morning in Pleasant Hill, and for that matter, back home for me in San Lorenzo. I wondered on my way up here if it was just going to be a standard, as we've got our first foul whistled against Cabrillo. That'll go against Madueño and give DVC an opportunity kind of from the mirror image position of where they created the first goal on Friday. That one was off at about this depth, but to the left side of the pitch. Hannah Morell again over it. Hannah hits that one short. It's going to come free here for Soboleski, unable to quite get turned around the Cabrillo player. And now it's the Seahawks looking to get off to a run. Marissa Freeman, 18 starts in 2023 and a goal against Gavilan for the midfielder out of Lee. Has that one taken away, and it's last touched by White. It'll go to the Vikings here in just a moment. So far, early days of this, one shot on goal, and one foul, all against on the Cabrillo side of the ledger. Seahawks looking for more, as it is Freeman. Drop back and intercepted nicely by Miyazaki. Had Zavala in that area trying to square it up towards the center. DVC at the moment operating with Huber somewhat isolated up top. Morell has slid from right midfield into right back in the absence of Pelcastre. Hicks and Loera, your center back pairing with Amanda Robertson on the left. Miyazaki and Regas moving in the midfield alongside with Rodriguez, Soboleski and Huber, along with Hannah Walden up top in the Vikings 4-3-3. Ball in possession right now of Marissa Freeman in the three-quarter zone. Her ball forward, intercepted by Miyazaki. Forward now for Huber. Defenders converge. She looks to spray this to the right side for Soboleski. Emma gets to it. Needs a touch to settle over by the right sideline. Now looks to cut inside Styles and does. Working her off of her hip. Still on the foot of Soboleski, looking to split two defenders. Another one coming in, and it's the opposing number 8, Ramirez, who finally works it off of the Vikings number 8. Ball ticked away from her. Thought I heard a whistle for a moment from our center official, Mr. DeLuca. He's joined by Sonny Teo here at the sideline to your right as DVC regain possession for a brief moment. Back on the foot of the captain, Freeman. Wide right side for Zavala. Up ahead and intercepted by the head of Cami Regas. Worked out toward the left side. held in Angelique Nunez, trying to spring an attack up the right wing, but none of her teammates there quite wise to it. Out comes Bella Hernandez. Bella, a pretty good game against Skyline. Just one goal that you might have argued was against her side of the ledger, and 8 saves out of the 11 shots the Trojans put on frame. As you might expect for a field player converted into a goalkeeper, a little less secure, a little up and down in the course of the week. Had a bit of a struggle against Chabot, who realized they could take those shots with some height from distance and scored 2, if not 3 of them in that general way, including the equalizer, which was a little bit of luck. A rainbow from about 25 yards out. Ball on the foot of Freeman, dribbling towards the half moon. Thinking about loading up a shot, now does, and that is going to whistle wide of the post. Not a shot on goal, just the second shot for Cabrillo. The voice of Lauren Inman coming into our field mic here, assistant coach for Gladys Mondragon, who has been at Cabrillo now for a solid decade. This team last season 1-7 in pre-conference play, 5-13-1 overall. Their only win, that one in Aptos against a depleted DVC side. Ball up ahead here for Cami Regas. Cami launches this one in the direction of Huber. Ooh, looked for a moment like she had beaten the center back there, the number 8, Montse Ramirez. Does well to backpedal and head it away, but definitely thoughts of having Huber in on goal on that ball launched in. Bit of confusion, and it comes free to Hannah Walden. Up ahead now for Miyazaki, who finds Huber. Huber beats the keeper to it. Goal! Angie. DVC open the scoring in minute number 10, and it's the most likely suspect thus far, Angeli Huber, scoring for the green and white and putting them on top. Excellent work there on the interplay between Walden and Miyazaki as well to get that ball moving in the right direction, and we're going to let the people know. DVC goal in minute number 10 off the boot of number 7, Angeli Huber. Her third of the season, the assist from number 17, Miki Miyazaki. DVC 1, Cabrillo 0. And so the Vikings with the early tally again, hoping they can make this one stick. So the Vikings, just as they did against Chabot, score on their first shot. Takes a few minutes longer, but gets the job done just the same. Thus far, Bella Hernandez with a pair of saves at the other, rather with one save at the other end and one that whistled wide of her post. DVC again lead early. But as we told you in the run-up to this, the real key is going to be that period of time, the last 15 minutes of this half. Obviously, Vikings have to get there first, but that's been where they've had their struggles, as it's Angeli Huber tracking back into the midfield to retain that. Hannah Morell up ahead looking for Soboleski. Mismanaged there, and it's Huber who pokes it to Miyazaki, the same connection that just produced goal number 1 mere moments ago. Drop back to Loera. Ticks that off of the foot of Zavala. Comes to her teammate, now trying to roll into position for Regas. Was Robertson intercepted. Up ahead now. Ball worked to the foot of the captain, Marissa Freeman, after a few touches from Gonzalez and Zavala. Up ahead and to the left wing now for Isela Gonzalez. Cut out nicely by Alina. First time we've called the name of Alina Rodriguez, the other DVC captain. She and Maila Hicks, returners and best buds. As Soboleski tries to feed Huber, the goal scorer, again. First time doesn't work, does the second time. And now trying to spring a run up the left wing, but offside is Hannah Walden. Flag up from Sonny Teo. A officiating fixture here in Pleasant Hill. We see quite a bit of him over the course of a full season of matches. Free kick coming up here. First one for Cabrillo. They've committed the day's one foul. As we told you, 1-1 the shots on goal count, 2-1 Cabrillo leading the shots count. Vikings scoring on their very first attempt on goal. We had seen hints of it earlier when they tried to go over the top, but Huber this time around fed by a brilliant through ball from Miki Miyazaki. It's another battle here. Sobolewski going up and now cutting inside the defender Styles. Up over the top towards Huber. Chests it down. Enters the 18. Tries to cut around her opposing 7, Salas Cunha. But a good bit of last-ditch defending from the number 7 in white. That'll be the first corner kick of today's game, and it goes the way of the green and white. If she cuts that one onto her left, I think it's 2-0. At least in the early going, a potential momentum-saving tackle there from Arden Salas Cunha, freshman defender out of Soquel. It's going to be Cami Regas to put this one in with the left boot. In swinger from the right corner flag. Ball floating in towards the penalty dot. Met with a head. Goal! Guess who? Number 7, Anjali Huber. Denied on the cutback, but there was no denying that run to the penalty dot. Put in beautifully by Cami Regas. And DVC make it 2-0 here in minute number 15. DVC goal in minute number 15. The 4th of the season and 2nd of the game for number 7, Anjali Huber. The assist direct from the corner from number 3, Cami Regas, her 2nd of the season. DVC 2, Cabrillo 0. And immediately it's a battle of the 7s again as Salas Cunha just able to keep herself in front of Anjali. That's going to be a foul whistled against the Vikings as Anji was a little over-aggressive in trying to retain possession down at that end. Good news as well, all the way around. 2-0, of course, the scoreline. That's phenomenal news. The other good piece of news, ready to re-enter in just a moment, is Jocelyn Pelcastre. So nothing too desperate there as the Vikings look to nurse their first 2-goal advantage of this 2025 season. Ball looped over the left side. That's going to go out just shy of the corner flag for a DVC throw. Substitution made, and Sobolewski will come back off. Pelcastre will come back on. Returning for the Vikings, 26, Jocelyn Pelcastre. If you're just joining us, where you been? Good time so far. Anjali Huber in the 10th, Anjali Huber in the 15th, assisted by Miyazaki and Regas, and DVC are up 2-0 in search of pushing themselves to the brink of a milestone for their coach. Anjali Huber gets that through the arrival of a defender, now looking to regain possession in front of the 8, Montse Ramirez. Drop back to Salas Cunha. Cleared back by the Vikings. Rodriguez trying to feed Huber up the right side. Would have been held on by Naomi Styles, the left back. Doesn't get through. Drop back with quite a bit of force. Now at the far sideline and taken away from Robertson, but up steps Loera to punch it forward. Miyazaki to the right side. Angelique Nunez out there, able to shepherd it out. It'll be a Cabrillo throw. Given the issue the Vikings have had so far with those goals towards the end of the half, I think having 2 or 3 of them on the board by the time they hit the 30th minute might be just the tonic. As of right now, in minutes 1 through 30 and minutes 61 through 90, DVC outscoring their opponents 4-2. 3-0 when it comes to the first 30 minutes of a game. It's that middle portion where they've been outscored 6-0 that is the issue. Going to try to find the feet of Hannah Walden is the call coming from the DVC bench. no dice. Cabrillo possess in the midfield. Step around Alina Rodriguez. Up comes Miyazaki and takes it off her. Miyazaki's return a little bit of a surprise. And certainly to the Vikings' benefit to have her, especially with the way things have gone in terms of team health and the length of the roster. Another misstep by Salas Cunha as she briefly hits the deck, manages to pop right back up, but is a little the worse for it. Landed pretty hard on the tailbone just then. The Vikings field I was mentioning before, a little on the slippery side due to the morning rains. This morning when I woke up and had to abort my morning shoot-around for concern about the slipperiness of the basketball court at my park, I wondered to myself, was I going to be encountering that here in DVC? Would I have to hide electronics? Luckily not that, but there was some rain here as well. The microclimate's not quite conspiring to keep everything dry around here, and we are seeing a little bit of that in the footing on this side of the field. Cami Regis doing battle in the corner. She earns the second corner kick of today's game. Both of them have been to the green and white. 2-2 the shot count, 2-1 the shots on goal count. Both of the Vikings attempts on goal have wound up in the back of the net. 1-1 the foul count here in minute number 19. Here comes Regis, and again looking for that header. A collision between the goalkeeper and Angeli Huber as they both went for that ball. Nothing for the center official, Domenico Di Luca. Cabrillo looked to spring the other way. Huber lurking and looking for a hat trick inside the first 20 minutes. Was not to be. Bella Hernandez claims that ball. Pokes it to Loera. Wide to the left side, knocked down there by Robertson, but taken away by the number 11, Nunez. Out for a Viking throw. 2 substitutions prepared by Coach Mondragon. Anneli Flores and Denise Corrales getting ready to enter the fray at the next stoppage, with Cabrillo in possession. Ball dropped back to Loera. Maila Hicks. Up ahead here for Cami Regis. Not a particularly emphatic counter press at the moment for Cabrillo. Both teams to some extent conserving energy. This ball across to Pelcastre, but now there is that counter press, and attacking and trying to take it from her is the 19 Gonzalez. That is out the back for a corner kick, first of the game for the Seahawks. With that, we will have the substitution. Entering for Cabrillo, number 4, Anneli Flores, and number 20, Denise Corrales. Flores, a sophomore who started 18 matches last season for Coach Mondragon. Corrales, a freshman forward. Both of them out of Watsonville, where Coach Mondragon also coaches the Watsonville Wildcats. This ball is floated in just past the head of Angelique Nunez. Claimed by Lily Zavala. Tries to get spun around Hicks and leaves it for the newly inserted Corrales, who loses possession. Cami Regis has that screw off the outside of her foot just a little bit, and that will favor the arrival of Naomi Stiles, the left back. Seems to be in a slightly more forward position now. Maybe a tactical switch or just simply an overlap. Now we'll go with overlap. That's still Montse Ramirez at this side. That would be the center back, so no major changes. Corrales with her back to goal, trying to get spun around Hannah Morel. Squares this one up for Yadira Gonzalez. Now left inside the 18 and cleared from in front of Zavala. Nunez chasing. She puts one in. That one nearly takes a hit. Popped up in the air by Anneli Flores and over the top of the goal. Third Cabrillo shot. Still just one of them on frame. And it'll be time for a Viking substitution as Soboleski takes off Miyazaki. Returning to the game for the Vikings, 8, Emma Soboleski. Cabrillo, the same way the Vikings tend to play their non-conference games in the early season against clubs from the Coast Conference, occasionally the Bay Valley. Oh, here comes the goal kick straight back to Cabrillo. Zavala back and forth with Flores, trying to get through Maila Hicks. No dice. The clearance from Morel up against Corrales. Now Alina Rodriguez trying to get stuck in there, but Corrales does hold on to it. I was about to say, though, Cabrillo tend to play their games in the early part of the season frequently against the Big 8. last few years they've generally played Sierra, Folsom, Delta, and CRC, and have resumed the yearly rivalry with Diablo Valley College after not facing off from 2019 through 2023. That win they got against the Vikings last year was their first one since 2021 against a Big 8 team. They are 1-16-4 against Big 8 clubs since a win in 2021 against Modesto. Of course, they started this season with a 4-0 loss to Folsom Lake. As of late, perennial challengers for state championship events. I'm old enough and experienced enough to remember back when Folsom Lake wasn't even in the Big 8. They were a Bay Valley team for the first 3 years of their existence, and they weren't getting enough of a challenge there. And so even though they were nearly going undefeated every year, their power points were so low they kept getting tough matchups in the first round, getting knocked out of the playoffs. Came to the Big 8, shared the 2016 title with DVC. As this ball's over the top and it's going to find Huber at full stretch. She's gotten herself past Celis Cunha. Fires from distance, just wide and high. Very nearly a hat trick, but that one does not find the frame. First Viking shot that has not been on goal. Of course, Anji's got all 3 of them so far. A tasty hit after a through ball from Miki Miyazaki in the 10th. And then the header off of a delightful run and a delightful ball from Cami Regis in the right corner in the 15th. Ball popped up onto the head of the 10, Yamilet Medueño. It's another Watsonville product. Medueño on it again. Cabrillo had a couple of really solid seasons right after coming back from the pandemic. 10-3-6 and undefeated in the coast. Back in 2021, earned their first postseason appearance since 2014. Had the 12th stingiest defense in the 3C2A. Just 0.7 of a goal per game in winning the Coast South for the first time. 22, they went 13-5-2, 9-0 inside the conference. Been a little bit of a downswing since, though. 7-12-1 2 years ago, and as we told you at the beginning, 5-13-1 last season. Success can be fleeting here in the 3C2A. Of course, if you're new to junior college soccer, every year you're pretty much retooling half your roster if you're lucky. Oftentimes more like 2/3 to 3/4 of it. Your best players, if they're freshmen, decent chance they might transfer right then and there. Only got 2 years of eligibility to begin with as Huber brings that one down, tries to step through Celis Cunha. Ball driven towards the right side. Nobody moving into that space for Cabrillo. Vikings, for their part, last winning season, 2018, when they made the playoffs as a play-in squad. Took out district mates, rather, Los Medanos in that. Since then, a few tougher seasons. They did make the playoffs when the field was expanded to 24 the year right after the pandemic, and fell to eventual state champions Hartnell in that one. The ball is on the foot here again of Cabrillo. Hartnell, for the record, another one of those Coast South teams that Cabrillo finds themselves in battles with rather frequently. Ball on the foot right now of Nunez. Work towards the half moon, popped up by Zavala. She's on the back of Maila Hicks, who defends that beautifully, and Cami Regis will clear. Ball held at the midfield stripe and pushed forward for a moment by Cabrillo. Now it's Amanda Robertson coming up to claim. Back and forth between Regis and Rodriguez. Correction, that was Soboleski and Rodriguez, the 8, not the 3. Ball currently in possession of Olivia Naomi Styles, rather. Throw in from Styles, over the top looking for Flores. Hicks can't quite find her teammate Pelcastre. Morel looking to clear, but it's off the back of Corrales, and Corrales thinking about a shot from distance. Hernandez knocks it down. It's a wee bit of an adventure, but she does finally corral it. 4-3 the shot count. Second Cabrillo shot on goal to even that. 1-1 on the fouls, 2-1 DVC with more corners, and of course 2-0, the result that matters. Goals in the 10th and 15th from Angeli Huber. The Vikings about to hit that portion of the game that has been their bugaboo through week 1. The last 15 of the first half and the first 15 of the second half. Ball worked out to the left side here. Cabrillo trying to continue that thread. Nice work there from Emma Soboleski, tracking back as a right side wing midfielder, almost back with Pelcastre at that point. Throw-in does go to Cabrillo, though. Corrales on it. Gets on the dribble, trying again for that far post. Knocked down by Hernandez, and good thing, too, as the number 10, Madueño, was crashing in at that post. Ball out on the far sideline. Cabrillo brightening up in the attack here these last few minutes. Throw-in claimed by Zavala. And now taken away by DVC. Cami Regas looking to send Angie off to the run again on Salas Cunha. Angie looks like she's beaten her here, trying to get to it. Body on body, comes away with the ball, but Salas Cunha did enough to slow her and allow the other two Cabrillo defenders in the area to converge. Ball forward cut out by Regas. Drop back to the opposing 3, Marissa Freeman. Regas applying pressure, and in doing so, gets that to bank off Hannah Walden. Hannah up the left side, looking for Regas to get back onto it. Salas Cunha launches that into the assembled spectators. Not a bad showing for a Tuesday afternoon out there here in Viking land. Of course, if you can't be here in Pleasant Hill, we're delighted that you're here with us on DVC Vikings Live. We'll have every home game for you, albeit a couple of them without commentary. But you'll be able to watch up the sideline, and Pelcastre cuts off the arrival from Flores. Did well to attack that one, loops it forward, brought down with the chest of Montse Ramirez. Working against Alina. Ball cleared here as Salas Cunha and Huber resume their battle. Skews off the head of Robertson, and it'll be a bit of a chase there as she's... It's going to end up being a cross, actually, towards Zavala. Not bad from Madueño out there on the far right side. Had that ball stamped onto her by Robertson, and it didn't go out. We are now into those final 15 minutes. And so now that the Vikings have gotten that good early start, we look for a strong close. Throw into the body of Corrales. Knocked away from her by Regas. That'll go out. Walden, I don't know if she wasn't going to be able to get to it or thought it had been deflected off of a Cabrillo player. Either way, Hannah getting stuck in, trying to take it away. Comes Frida Nunez, head for Flores. Flores thought about trying to thread one through, thought better of it with Regas in front of her. Here comes the ball in from Corrales, and that is wide of the cage. Jot that down as shot number 5, but still just 2 of them on goal. Hernandez getting better and better at understanding exactly where her responsibilities end. Last thing you want to do on something that is definitely off frame is create a rebound opportunity for no reason. Goal kick taken by Hicks. Finds the feet of Morel. MH to HM. Corrales. Right side, Madueño. Dribbling on a diagonal with Morel closing in. Robertson as well in the vicinity. Forces her well wide. Drop back for Corrales. It's been a decent spark plug here for Cabrillo since her entry. This one scooped. Cut out by the heel of Morel. Comes free. Opportunity for a cross. Hicks punches that towards the edge of the 18. Half clearance. That's only going to come as far as the number 14, Gonzalez. Her shot stopped at point-blank range. The ball forward immediately looking to spring Huber one more time. Blocked away by Ramirez. Ball comes free again. Huber flicks that out from under one defender. Converged upon by another. And now tries to put this up the left wing for Hannah Walden to run onto. Looks like Salas Cunha has it tracked, though. Up the right side, throw in to come here. 12 minutes to go in first half action. Huber in the 10th, Huber in the 15th. If you've missed the early going, DVC off to a phenomenal start here to their third home game of this 2025 campaign. Looking to close the first half strong. When I talked to Coach Mullins about Angie Huber in the preseason, told me I might get vibes of a particular ex-Viking by the name of Cameron Chan. Described her kind of just having those deer legs ready to run up and down the sideline. Fun kid, good teammate, gives the coaches knuckles at the end of every practice. And somebody who was good in the air, good with her head. I think we've seen a good bit of all of that on display. The other thing I've seen in the first couple games is she's got absolutely no fear mixing it up with those defenders on the back line. Sometimes just a smidge to her detriment, but learning quickly where that line might be here in the 3C2A. Ball cleared as Alina Rodriguez tried to work her way up the left wing. Vikings will be thrilled just to keep the ball down in this vicinity, try and conserve some energy. Not much in the way of substitutes, as we saw today. Emma Soboleski came in briefly to take off Jocelyn Pelcastre when she pulled up injured. Came right back off when Pelcastre was ready to go, and then came back in to give Miki Miyazaki a blow. That is about the extent of what the Vikings have in terms of substitutions, but the 11 on the field and the 12th one when she's been in, high quality so far. Vikings back in possession here. Brought down beautifully by Huber. Not quite able to connect with that. It will be a shot on goal, but not the most authoritative effort we've seen from the number 7 in green and white so far today. Ball out the far sideline for a DVC throw. And it looks like Miyazaki will be re-entering the match here in just a moment. It sounds like the tactical switch is going to be for her to, instead of sitting deep, where she has been for a good chunk of this game alongside Cami Rigas, that she's going to adopt the top of the triangle and push Alina Rodriguez into the forward line. That should be interesting to see. I think perhaps the wrinkle being that Alina is somebody who really does like to run at defenders, and the Vikings right now think that is a good way of going about attacking this Cabrillo back line rather than just serving it over the top. Rodriguez ends up on the back of Marissa Freeman, still battling for it, but it'll be Anneli Flores to take it back. Freeman, Corrales, now Gonzalez. Freeman up ahead here in a patch of space for a moment for Corrales, who wanted to take that rip. Moment eludes her, though. Sofia Loera clears it. Hannah Walden keeps it in play, dribbles that through the arrival of Nunez. Now launches it perhaps a little too deep, but Huber may get there first. Montserrat Ramirez, the one who does finally claim, had gotten past Salas Cunha. Returning for the Vikings, 17, Miki Miyazaki. Conversation going on here between the coaching staff and one of the Cabrillo players who might be struggling a bit with condition. One of the substitutes. Throw in to come here in a moment with about 8 minutes left. This is the longest a Vikings game so far this season has gone without DVC conceding. Good sign. Again, looking for 8 strong minutes. Get to the break with that 2-run lead, maybe add to it. Morel trying for the leak out of Angeli Huber, but a good step from the Cabrillo defensive line. Amanda Robertson slide tackle to take it away. Beautifully done. Stands up and then knocks down the arrival of Madueño. DVC come away with it. This one, though, stamped right up against Marissa Freeman. Her ball forward, though, finds the other number 3. Correction, there was Nunez out there, the number 11. Off the foot of Regis, off the foot of a Cabrillo player, and a throw in to come. And one of the Cabrillo players has hit the deck. Looks like Madueño might be the worse for that challenge from Amanda Robertson. Trainers, perhaps? No, looks like the referee has he summoned on? Yes. It's made an indication that there's going to need to be a substitution here as Yamilet Madueño comes off. Looks like she's able to get to the bench and won't need the trainers to come on herself, but does need to come out. Maybe might even be an issue of blood and a need to clean up a cut or something along those lines. At any rate, we will take a moment here to show you a little bit of what is coming up this week and weekend, for that matter, at DVC. I should have edited that part of the title. But volleyball in action tomorrow for the first time since 2 weeks back, as Contra Costa and Columbia will visit Jackie Ponciano Babs women for the DVC Classic. Men's water polo will be at the Antilla tournament, or Antilla, I'm not quite sure which way that one's pronounced, in Stockton, California, where they'll take on Modesto and Cabrillo, for that matter, on Friday and Saturday. May have another game coming up on that Saturday time, hence the extra one there. And then football, coming off of a big victory over ARC in their home opener, will be playing against Redwoods. And here's another ball forward, looking for Anjali Huber, looking for the hat trick! Angie! Once, twice, 3 times a goal scorer. Anjali Huber tallies again in minute number 35, and DVC have made it 3-0 here. Of course, the big thought here, yes, indeed, do not give up anything in this last 5.5 minutes. Vikings have finally scored in this period of the game for the first time. We're going to let the masses know. DVC goal in minute number 35. The hat trick completed by number 7, Anjali Huber. DVC 3, Cabrillo 0. And we'll get that back up there on the screen for you. And she hasn't forced me to edit that graphic once. I appreciate that. That's very considerate of her. We may have to go back and look at the video to see who had the assist. Another lovely through ball, as she has been found in tight spaces by Miki Miyazaki. She has been found on that longer leak out for goal number 3, and in between, a gorgeous corner kick from Cami Regis that put it on her head for the middle goal of the 2. In fact, the one thing we need to figure out is, did she score one of the other goals with her right and one with her left? Because if so, you get a natural hat trick. Right foot, left foot, header. Things to research. That's why we live stream. About 4 minutes to go here in first half action, and just 2 minutes from the point where the scoreboard clock and the one here on DVC Vikings Live will come to a stop. Had to educate a few folks on that one that were freaking out about it on the live stream a week ago, thinking, well, why isn't it still running? Well, the referee has the say on when time ends, and most clocks are equipped with a horn that'll go off at zeros anyway. And so if you let it keep running, you're going to confuse the spectators and take away the referee's thunder. So here in the 3C2A, it's not a stop-and-start clock like it is, at least was in the NCAA. I might need somebody to correct me if I'm wrong. I think it still is a start-and-stop clock in the NCAA. They also have sudden death overtime. All sorts of fun stuff. We are much more the European model. Much more the FIFA model. This ball's put over the right side, looking for Anali Flores, as Cabrillo looked to get a little joy and a little something to build on out of the last chunk of this first half. Just 3 minutes left to go. Vikings on top 3-0, and it is, as we told you, the hat trick. Angie Huber has all 5 goals this season for the green and white, and 3 of them just in the last 40 minutes. Ball in possession here of Cabrillo. Knocked back, and a shot from distance will not find the frame off the boot of Yadira Gonzalez. Somewhat remarkably, Cabrillo outshooting the Vikings 6-5, but the shots on goal count 4-2 in favor of the green and white, and just one of those has been stopped by the Cabrillo goalkeeper, Alessandra Zuniga. 2.32 goals against average last season, as she started 17 of the 18 matches she was part of. Battle developing there as Alina Rodriguez commits a foul. Good work by Salas Cunha there to get stuck in against the Viking captain. Second foul of the day against the green and white, just one whistled against Cabrillo. Same count, 2-1 for the corner kicks at this juncture. As we have reached the minute-and-a-half mark now here in Pleasant Hill. Ball stays in possession now of Cabrillo as we hit the 45th minute. Corrales, well fed by Flores, had to reach back, though, to reclaim it after her first touch failed her a little. Sliding challenge again. Is that Amanda Robertson? No, looks like perhaps Hannah Morell out there. Either way, it is out for a Cabrillo corner kick, second of the game for the Seahawks. May well be the final action. We've had just a brief stoppage when Madueño had to come off, and one when Pelcastre did. Maybe 1 minute to be added by Mr. DeLuca. Corner kick coming in, and the taker has slipped to the ground. Ball popped straight up by the Viking defender, and that will favor the arrival of Bella Hernandez. Denise Corrales not able to keep her feet as she put that ball in, and again, the wet surface continuing to play havoc with any number of players out there, but it has seemed that the Seahawks have gotten the worst of it. Hernandez with the drop kick, headed forward by Miyazaki. Well done to win that. Angelique Nunez claims Huber. Hat trick not enough for her. At the very least wants a bigger hat. Sofia Loera does well to take that away. Good touch, though, on the counter press. Nearly favored Corrales. Hard work there from the 19 Gonzalez. Taken away now by Cami Regas, up ahead for the arrival of Emma Soboleski. Doing battle, last touched by the woman in white, Naomi Stiles. No, that is interesting. Domenico DeLuca changes it up, and that happened right in front of us. That was not correct. Sonny Teo saw that right. At any rate, DVC take it away again. Soboleski, two defenders converging on her. Pelcastre doing battle. Throw in this time will go the way of the Vikes. Up ahead here looking for Soboleski. The ball dancing on the line. If Emma can get to it, she does. Here comes Emma. Has Stiles on her hip. Soboleski trying to see if she can earn the corner. Looks to get that off of somebody. No, stays in play. Comes free to Regas, who tries to wrap her foot around it for a cross. Nothing doing. Check of the watch from Domenico DeLuca. And in a moment, we will likely hear that final whistle. And there indeed it is, and that is going to do it for first half action, as we've had a stoppage of our video feed, which I don't know exactly when that happened, but we'll see if we can get that fixed up in a moment. In the meanwhile, while we look to repair that, sorry, don't know how long you guys have been watching a radio call. At any rate, though, that does it for the first half. Anjali Huber, 10th, 15th, and 35th minutes. The goals here for the green and white, the first half hat trick. And we, as we always do here on DVC Vikings Live, will turn you over to the able hands of Dave Hughes and the beat of Diablo for our halftime show. A little local music coming into your ears as we wait for the second 45 minutes. Through the first 45, DVC 3, Cabrillo 0. We will see you in 15.
This is the beat. This is the beat. The beat of Diablo with Dave Hughes. Hey there, local sports fans. This is Dave Hughes, the producer and host of the weekly local music program, The Beat of Diablo, broadcasting on FM radio at 90.5 KVHS and on television at Comcast 26. Here now are some select cuts from this week's episode, handpicked by your DVC Vikings live announcer, Joe Hickey. To catch this week's episode in full, visit thebeatofdiablo.com for local listings.
This is The Beat. The Beat of Diablo's DVC Vikings Live halftime show.
I've been picking on Fred apples, trying to win my nerves and this before they cut the lights, the flicker will light up. Last time but yeah, I'm made of bones and timber, stuck in a showroom, growing bitter. Ask me what I'm worth on the road show, just please don't let me go.
And welcome back, folks. We are just about ready for second half action here on DVC Vikings Live. We've got a moving camera. We've got a wind filter on the microphone. Life is good. And we are underway in this very moment here for the second half of DVC Cabrillo. Our apologies that you were deprived of the delightful view of goal number 3 from Anjali Huber, but I assure you it happened. You heard me. I don't get that excited about nothing. Here's a loose ball, though, in the defense for Cabrillo. Hannah Walden just barely not able to bring it down. Cami Regas thinking about taking a rip at the goal defended by Alessandra Zuniga on the other side. No dice, though. Blocked at point-blank range as we get back underway. Your stats at the halftime break. Cabrillo out shooting the Vikings 6-5, but the Vikings have put 4 of theirs on goal to 2 for the Seahawks, and of course 3 of those into the back of the net. 2 saves for Bella Hernandez, 1 for Alessandra Zuniga. 2-1 the foul count, 2-2 the corner kick count. Cabrillo, DVC rather, with 1 more foul than the visitors. But by and large, happy news for the faithful followers of the green and white. Those gathered here in Pleasant Hill, those watching along on the live stream, those that just kind of feel a disturbance in the force when things aren't going right. Today, very right. Amanda Robertson kicks that one into the assistant coach and immediately apologizes. Little evidence of what Coach Colleen Mullins told me about Robertson being a super nice kid, very hard worker, very knowledgeable of the game. Somebody that the Vikings have been figuring out exactly where she would best help them. Right now, the answer to that has been predominantly left back. She started game number 1 at center back when it was unclear if Sofia Loera was going to be available up until the very, very close of warm-ups. Throw in to come here in a moment to the body of the 20, Denise Corrales. Arguably the brightest part of this Cabrillo attack in the first half, as she has just banked that off a DVC defender and earned the Vikings, or rather the Seahawks, a third corner kick. Hope you enjoyed your little bit of beat of Diablo earlier. This one in, and it's to the body of Bella Hernandez, and she gets everything behind that. No worries, the Vikings escape that corner kick with no damage. And for DVC, we mentioned beforehand, this period, especially the first 3 minutes after halftime, they conceded in both of their first 2 games. Marked difference this time around, though. They came back out to the field from the locker room a great deal earlier than they had in the others. There was a really rushed feeling to things, especially the game on Friday, as the second half started, and it felt like the Vikings just never quite got their heads on straight. As Regas stamps that one back in the direction of Walden. Unable to clear was the 11, Angelique Nunez. Ball rolled centrally, almost claimed by Miyazaki. Slightest of touches from the Cabrillo defender. Held in by Alina Rodriguez, and that's going to spring free for the arrival of Soboleski. Defenders converging to her at the right side of the box. Held now by Alina. Goes out just shy of the corner flag. A throw in a deep attacking position for the green and white. Temperatures here in the low 70s in Pleasant Hill. A little rain in the morning, still cloud cover over the top, but generally a pleasant day. A little bit of wind now at the backs of the Vikings as they look to build on this 3-0 deficit and particularly look to escape this middle portion of a match from minutes number 31 through 60. Intact for the first time. Right now we are in minute number 49. Cleared partially by Cabrillo as Cami Regas will cut off the arrival of the opposing number 3, the captain Marissa Freeman. Looks to work her way through a defender, and Cami staying on it. It's going to be a throw in as it last touched the 3 in green and black. Cami Regas already with a connection to Hannah Morell from their time at Diablo Valley Wolves Club, cited by Coach Mullins as the biggest soccer junkie on the team. Told me that she prizes her work rate and her determination, but is working on being a little more unpredictable on the ball. Certainly have gotten a good look at her, though, in terms of endurance. She's got the apparent extra lung characteristic of a swimmer, which is what she does when she's not on the soccer field. So, you know, little dampness on the field, that won't faze her in the slightest. Ball being worked around here on the near sideline, sort of stuck in that zone as the Seahawks and Vikings battle over it. Of course, Vikings in the green and black gradient home kits with black shorts and green socks. Attacking now right to left, Cabrillo in the road whites. Although with a neat little pattern in gray that I don't know if the camera quite picks it up, but it is delightful. It's a neat design. I'd wear one of those. Ball hoofed forward by Corrales. In search of the 19, Isela Gonzalez over there. Touched away by Robertson. It'll be Angelique Nunez to put in a throw in just a moment for the Vikings. They start out this half with Huber and Soboleski up top. And now Cami Regas springing out of the left side, looking to feed one of them, looking for those deer legs of Huber to get into motion. As Salas Cunha again continues this battle with her opposing 7, last touched by the 7 in white. Throw in to come as just outside the range of our camera, Angelique Huber trying to avoid stepping in the mud and caking up the bottom of her cleats. Got to have good grip on the road if you want to do the sort of tight quarters, tight steering driving we've seen from her so far today. Throw in from Robertson, headed by Miyazaki in the direction of Walden. Tries to put that towards the box, but it's going to carry over the back line. And a goal kick to come. As we always do during the second half, we're going to be taking you around the horn and telling you about what else is going on in DVC athletics. First up, what's in the near future tomorrow. Volleyball hosting the DVC Classic. Contra Costa and Columbia coming to visit. Men's water polo at the Antilla Tournament in Stockton this weekend, where they'll definitely face Modesto and Cabrillo, and more on Saturday. Football at Redwoods, and cross country at Merritt College, the Kyle Robinson Twilight Invitational on Friday. Everybody but women's water polo currently active. DVC coming forward. Angeli Huber takes a defender on the dribble, fires just wide. Sixth Viking shot, 4 of them so far on frame, 3 of them have hit the twine. That one not far off the boot. I thought I was going to need to be ready to yell again. And we were told at halftime a popping sound occurred with the camera at around the 20th minute. And full disclosure, we've got the sun behind us here, and so it is awfully hard to see the screen at certain times of day, and so did not notice that we had a frozen picture for those final 20 minutes. Didn't have the chat window open, so thank you, Suhani Singh, for trying to let us know, but it's where it pays to have a guy that does radio along with it. A cross from Corrales, that's going to go straight over the back line. Nothing doing there, and a goal kick to come for the green and white. So we'll tell you about the first of the Vikings programs that are in action besides DVC soccer as they get ready to author their first substitution of this half. It's going to be Jocelyn Pelcastre re-entering in a moment, although not this very moment. At the moment, Soboleski, Walden, and Huber up top. Walden on the left, Huber on the right, Soboleski dead center. Midfield is Regis, Rodriguez, and Miyazaki. I got to find a different order to say those because it always makes me feel like I'm stuttering. Soboleski putting pressure on the back line. Salescuña able to knock it deep. Held by Cabrillo, forward for Annalie Flores, who now has a wrap on her left thigh. Struggling a bit with her movement in the first half. Worked to the left side. It'll be Madueño, the number 10, firing, and that is knocked down and claimed by Bella Hernandez. Third Cabrillo shot on goal. 7th of the game, and the third save for Bella. That one is a bit of a low line drive that still makes it to midfield. Style debatable. Effectiveness undeniable. Corrales on it here, nearly taken away by Walden, but stays on the ball. The freshman out of Watsonville has put her stamp on this game in terms of putting fright into the DVC defenders. So far, Vikings have bent but not broken. They are 5 minutes away from escaping this period of the game that has been so dreadful the first week intact. Told you at the outset, first 30 minutes of their games, as that's going to be a throw-in going the Vikings' way. Ball just did leave the field. That should allow the substitution to be made now. Apparently the referee did not spot it, so we'll wait on that. Now the ball out the sideline, but it's going the way of Cabrillo. Thought for a second he might invite her in, just realizing that he goofed on the last one, but nothing doing. I like the call from Tino Takuba on the bench, DVC assistant coach. Also somebody who's been working at Walnut Creek Surf alongside Sofia Lopez Real, a recent DVC alum, at least of the soccer program, still here as a student, as well as former assistant coach Daisy Bonilla with a call from Tino Takuba. It's getting a little quiet out there. Let's talk. Let's keep things moving. Ball claimed by the captain, Maila Hicks, a little further advanced than usual, drops it to Miyazaki. Forward now for Rodriguez, not quite able to beat the defender. Ball now pushed over to the left side where Madueño's moving. Has Corrales cutting in, trying to show for it. Madueño looking to get around Hannah Morell. And Hannah stands tall. Beautiful bit of defense from the number 2 for the Vikes. And now it's Huber looking to get off to a run from a very deep position. She's got Soboleski there, but that's going to be a bit central for Emma. Ball worked out to the right side where Isela Gonzalez will knock it down. Robertson looking to hold her there. Worked up the right side for Flores. Loera trying to hold her in position there, and it's cleared away. That'll be a Cabrillo throw, and Jocelyn will continue to wait her turn. Pelcastre right now going through a series of bits of body language. I'm waiting. Can I please play in this game? Ball out the back. That's going to be a Cabrillo corner. That still is not going to allow the substitution. Fourth corner kick for the Seahawks. Vikings had the first 2 of the game. So far now, that's 4 on the trot for Cabrillo. Ball crossed in towards the back post. Header is going to be high and wide. Rising up was the number 3, Marissa Freeman, unable to find the target. And that is going to be a goal kick and the substitution at long last. Re-entering for DVC, 26, Jocelyn Pelcastre. She'll take off Hannah Walden, who collects the penny. And we'll get a blow now here for the Vikes. Morel about to drive this goal kick deep as we tell you about DVC football, number 13 going into last week. In the state of California, and now 2-0 after a 44-30 win over ARC. We're going to peel off the football for a moment because this football's more interesting. Cami Regas coming up the sideline and loses control. It'll be a Cabrillo throw back to the football. Vikings topped ARC in that home opener shootout, 44-30. Kalani McLeod, 16 for 24, an aerial assault, 353 yards, and 145 of that on just 5 of the catches from Kai Taylor. He caught 3 of McLeod's 5 touchdowns. McLeod also accurate, did not throw a pick during that game. Good work on the defensive end as well. Pelcastre back into this game and immediately on the attack. Cleaned up there by Sales Cunha. As much as I've had to say her name, I'm glad that I sat down and asked her how to pronounce it properly. I had my guess. It turned out to be right, but I would hate to be sitting here in doubt of the thing that I've said about 40 times today. She has been invaluable at the back and has been about the only thing to bottle up Anjali Huber for chunks of this game. Corrales, good 1-2 here with Isela Gonzalez to get through the arrival of Robertson and Regas. Now a long ball towards the center in search of Madueño. Rodriguez looking to get stuck in with her. Madueño keeps her on her back. Slides that to the newly reinserted Lily Zavala. And now a drive from distance that will go over the top off the boot of Yadira Gonzalez. Just 3 of Cabrillo's 8 shots so far today have found the frame of the goal. And worth celebrating right there, we reach the 30 minutes to go mark, that middle third of the game that has so frustrated the green and white to this point. Coming into today's game, they had been outscored 6-0 in that third of the game. They had outscored their opponents 1-0 in the first 30 minutes. They were being outscored 2-1 in the final 30 minutes. Playing basically to a draw there. It was that middle chunk that had been so rough. Today, the Vikings get through it without conceding. They lead 3-0 with a half hour left to protect what would be win number 1 of 2025 and win number 199 in the career of Coach Colleen Mullins here at Diablo Valley College. Corner kick earned down at the far side. Third of the day for DVC. We mentioned before they'd earned the first 2. Cabrillo have had 4 since. Vikings, though, off the first of their corners, created the second of their goals, the bullet header from Anjali Huber. They'll look for more here. It'll be Cami Regas again with the left boot looking for the in-swinger. Cabrillo have all but 1 player inside the 18-yard box. This time not able to fully wrap the foot around it. It's going to be claimed by Alina Rodriguez as DVC look to avoid the counter, and they do. And now there's some space. This one towards the far post in the direction of Morel! Ooh, just barely wide. Not able to find the frame with that one. But it did take a deflection, apparently, because it will be a corner kick from the opposite side this time around. Long run for Cami Regas. So, in fact, we will go ahead and claim that as the 5th shot on goal for the green and white for the Vikings. As that was so very close to going in despite the deflection that it must have been on frame before it. 5-3, that count in favor of the Vikings as they look for a 4th goal and something to give them all manner of comfort in trying to coast home to win number 1. Here comes Regas. This one dropped in to the back post. Header! Goal! Go, 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 go! If at first you don't succeed, try again. Her first goal in green and white, number 2, Hannah Morrell! Regas with her 2nd assist from a corner kick in today's game, both of them headers. Anjali Hubers was from the penalty dot. Hannah Morrell gets it from the back post, headed perfectly back across goal. DVC goal in minute number 63. The first in green and white for number 2, Hannah Morrell. The assist off the corner from number 3, Cami Regas, her 2nd of the day and 3rd of the season. Vikings 4, Seahawks 0. With that, I feel relatively confident that I can tell you we will be on the air from Woodland on Friday, because if win number 200 is potentially in the cards that day, there's no way in heck I'm missing it. So we will be there one way or another, possibly in the form of a radio broadcast. If we can bring the little Verizon internet machine here, maybe we can get video going for that. But one way or another, we're going to work this up for you. It might be the final episode of DVC Vikings Live Radio, which I thought I had retired. Ball in possession right now of Cabrillo. As we update you here on your scorers, Huber in the 10th, 15th, and 35th. Hannah Morrell in the 63rd to make it 4-0 to the good for the green and white. Hannah Walden getting ready to re-enter, but that ball off of Jocelyn Pelcastre. It'll be a throw-in for the Seahawks. DVC models of efficiency today. 8 shots, 6 of them on frame, and 4 of them in the back of the net. Controlled the midfield for long chunks. Cabrillo have taken 8 shots, but they've only put 3 of them on frame, and Bella Hernandez has been equal to all 3 of them. Maela drives us towards the left side. We'll see if Jocelyn can keep it in play. No dice that time around. And we'll continue to take you around the horn. Men's water polo continuing their hot start, 5-3 on the season. The 2nd time running their very last game, a 1-goal loss, that to Laverne University. But Keegan Darcy, 5 goals and an assist against Merced in a romp, 20-4. And Joe Greer, the star of the win over Santa Monica College, 22-7. He had 4 goals and an assist. Swan and Aiello, who starred the week before, responsible for a number of goals for the Vikings, as that one's forward, looking for Pelcastre, who's playing forward now. Cleared away from her feet. But Swan and Aiello responsible for some of the tallies against perennial state champion, or I should say state title contenders, West Valley, who are the hosts, dealing DVC their other loss. So 3-1 in their first tournament in Riverside, as this one's brought forward, and ticks off of Loetta, popped up as Robertson tried to clear, and Maila Hicks will be the one to scoot it away. And now taken away by Alina Rodriguez. Alina up ahead. Good step there, though, by the number 8, Montse Ramirez. As we told you, though, Corey Dolly's men will be... Ooh, here's a nice little cut inside, and good work on the defensive end by Amanda Robertson. And Hannah Morell to hold the number 19, Isela Gonzalez, at bay. That is a shot not on goal and no save necessary for Bella. That looked like a pretty good chance at goal number 1 right there, but nothing doing. Re-entering for the Vikings, 21, Hannah Walden. Jocelyn Pelcastre at the moment, back into the game on the prior substitution, is playing left wing at the moment. She has been DVC's right back for a good chunk of this season, and she's the one up on the ball now. May have shown too much of it to Salas Cunha. Gets stuck in trying to take it back. Ball's claimed by Cami Regas, but can't quite keep it in underneath our camera. Pelcastre, Walden, and Soboleski left to right at the moment in the forward line. Anjali Huber has joined Cami Regas and Alina Rodriguez in the center. Still Robertson, Loera, Hicks, and Morell left to right across the back line. Huber, the first half hat trick. Hannah Morell denied by a deflection at point-blank range on what looked like a good goal from open play on the ensuing corner kick. Whacked in a back post header off the delivery from Cami Regas. The Vikings lead 4-0 on the basis of that. Here's Denise Corrales, forward looking for Gonzalez. Nothing doing. Robertson first plays it off of Gonzalez and then out for a Seahawk throw. And again, Tino Takuba is the volume knob over there. We'll start naming him. Make sure if he hears it get a little quiet, he says, let's turn it up a little bit. I like that. Both the tendency and I think the nickname's going to stick. I'm going to work with that one. I was asked on a cricket broadcast as we were enjoying some great nicknames, and heaven knows I've bestowed a few in my time here at DVC. I was asked by my co-commentator what nicknames I have, and the first one that occurred to me was just Dr. H, which is what most of my students call me. I think my last name makes people uncomfortable. But that one's cleared away by Huber. But the one that I'd forgotten was another DVC assistant coach of days gone by, Julio Borge, who in my last year in charge, after hearing me say golazo enough times, he'd always referred to me as the voice for DVC soccer. But that last month or so, he started calling me La Voz. And I was like, that is awesome, and I'm never letting go. And I'm still mad it didn't occur to me in the middle of the cricket broadcast over the weekend. But we'll see what nicknames come about over the course of this season with this group of women. But it is certainly a fun team to watch. I think it's what made the first 2 matches all the more frustrating is they're a good-looking group in terms of the way they play with one another, and certainly a lot of verve in there and the kinds of defenders I like to see, and a few really dynamic attacking players in Regas and Huber, and it does look like in Miyazaki, for that matter, it looks like a team that could be really fun. You'll want the best for them when that happens. Driving forward is Alina Rodriguez from the right side. Drops that off to Huber. Cuts around the arrival of one defender. Now tries to split 2 to find Soboleski. Emma, unable to get past Corrales. As I said, without doubt, the brightest of the Cabrillo players so far in this game. Denise Corrales came in off the bench about 15 minutes in, and I don't think she's left. Work to the right side for Gonzalez. Robertson tries to stand her up. Ball out for a Seahawk throw. Corrales, Gonzalez, toe flick to keep that from Robertson. Ball out. Sonny Teo looks like he's trying to make his mind up. Finally does point the way of Cabrillo. So Vikings will be at Woodland on Friday. Following that game, they'll be back here at home for a pair next week. Deanza on Tuesday against the Mountain Lions. As this one's put in, knocked down by the chest of Maila Hicks and played out by the Cabrillo player benches. Another throw to come for the Sky Blues. Pelcastre tries to cross over and take that from Zavala. It actually gets through both of them and falls to the number 10. This ball in is going to be scooped up by Bella Hernandez. No shot there. That was a pass. if I've ever seen one. And so it remains 3 shots on goal to the 6 authored by the green and white. Second game next week on Friday will be against West Valley College. That one we will have the live stream. We will not have commentary for it, as I am double booked. I was against on the day of the Chabot game as well, and had to split the difference. Did DVC soccer one of the days, doing the other thing the other day. Nice ball floated out to the right side here for Soboleski, who gets stood up by Annalie Flores. That was an ugly fall, and I'm glad to see her pop right back up, because that had me concerned a little bit. She sort of pitched forward for a second, and obviously a Vikings team cannot afford injuries at this juncture. Ball taken off the 14, Gonzalez, Yadira type. Anjali Huber crashed in on by 2 players. Annalie Flores right in front of the referee, throws an elbow into Huber. I don't know what he's looking at. That one comes right to us. That is the best stop I think I've ever made, although I tried to knock it forward for somebody, and it's a forest of wires. So one came right underneath, unsighted, killed that thing off with my instep. Never caught a foul ball during a baseball game, but that's up there with the cooler things I think I've done. I like that. Ball in possession of the Seahawks. Isela Gonzalez puts this up the right side in search of Zavala. Instead finds DVC's Sofia Loera. Ball cleared again out towards the tent over the top of the Cabrillo bench. Throw in to come for the Seahawks. Up the sideline from Nunez. Knocked deep here by Amanda Robertson. Walden not able to get that in front of Salas Cunha. Scooped in the direction of Gonzalez, but claimed instead by Loera. Hops up over the foot of Pelcastre. Nunez surging forward, converged upon by Huber and Pelcastre. No foul given Huber. Nice little bit of dancing there to the left side for Rigas. Up ahead for Pelcastre. Perfect weight on that ball, and it'll be Freeman coming through to take it away from Pelcastre. Jocelyn trying to get stuck in, but the Cabrillo captain will get there first. Jocelyn takes it away, plays it off of her. Is that out the side or out the back? That's the only question. It'll be a throw-in as signaled by Domenico De Luca. If you're just joining us, where you been? There's a look at the damage. Anjali Huber, 10th, 15th, and 35th minute. The first half hat trick. Hannah Morell in the 63rd minute. A header off of a corner kick. 2 corner kick goals for the Vikings today out of their 4 tallies. The others have been Huber being found on fantastic through balls. One from Miyazaki, and one we'll have to ask the bench about because hopefully they remember, because the video was stuck at that point. I don't know if it recorded. We'll find out later. It certainly wasn't coming to our live stream, unfortunately. Throw in from the near sideline by the corner flag. Claimed by Cabrillo and popped up. Anjali Huber battling with the number 19, Isela Gonzalez. Not able to hold it in there. Out underneath the DVC bench, and the Vikings will take their time. 15 minutes left. DeLuca not happy with Huber taking her time on that one. Huber not happy with him not sanctioning that shove she took earlier, so I suppose they're even. Gonzalez, Robertson, off the head of Isela Gonzalez. Claimed here by Alina, trying to find a teammate, cut off by the step of Salas Cunha. I will edit what I said earlier. Corrales certainly a bright spot for Cabrillo. Salas Cunha as well has done yeoman's work here because DVC have been running at her all day, and more often than not, she has won the contrast. Caught out on a pair of through balls in that first half, but by and large has done what she can to keep DVC's primary scoring threat at bay. This is a shot from distance. That will be shot number 4 on frame for the Seahawks. Easily taken, though, by Bella, and that's probably the best news for the Vikings, is that they have largely held Cabrillo to those sorts of shots in today's game. Bella has had to make, I'd say, 1 save on a shot from inside the box and one tough shot on one of those arcing ones that can bamboozle, particularly keepers in the women's game, just simply because, just based on average height, there's a little more space to try and hit over the top of a keeper. Pelcastre looped over the right side, looking for Sobolewski to run onto it. Walden as well coming up the center. It'll be Anneli Flores coming to it first. Body on body with Sobolewski. That's not the best idea. Emma, even for her stature, a very tough-nosed player. Somebody that Coach Mullins described as an absolute sponge as well. Was brought to practice by a friend the first time she experienced any DVC soccer culture, and Coach Mullins said her eyes just lit up. She's been very eager ever since, and it's been a bright light. Somebody who likes to run at defenders. And certainly one of those low centers of gravity, very tough to dislodge, even for players much bigger. Seeing her go against Nyara Anderson-Brown last weekend, against Chabot was pretty eye-popping at times. Ball still down in that corner. A whistle and a yellow card shown to Anneli Flores, who was the one who earlier had that shove that went unsanctioned. So she doesn't seem to think that the action she just did earned it. But most folks generally don't. Yellow card shown to number 4, Anneli Flores, in minute number 79. Throw in to come here, or rather free kick, I should say, to come. No, throw in. I was right the first time. The offense that created the yellow card came not as a play on the ball, but a bit of extracurriculars after the fact. Ball worked up ahead toward the center circle here for Cabrillo. Nice little turn from Zavala. Drops that off for the 14, Yadira Gonzalez. Looking for the other Gonzalez, Isela on the right side, blocked by Rigas. Two players converge on the 11, Nunez. The Vikings clear their lines. Ball claimed by Jocelyn Pelcastre here at the near sideline. Shepherds that out. It'll be a throw in, given the way of the Seahawks.
The last half? Yeah, Anjali's third goal.
10 minutes left here in today's encounter. Vikings have dominated from start to finish. They got the goals early, 10th and 15th. They got them in the middle, then the 35th. They've gotten one late in the 63rd. Anjali Huber has continued her fantastic start to the season. She's now got 5 goals in 3 matches and a hat trick today in the first half. Cami Rigas, a pair of assists. She's got 3 of those as Maila Hicks dug in here, and the foul called here. Just the second of the day against the Cabrillo Seahawks. Just 2 called against the Vikings for that matter. Maila Hicks doing well to shield that ball. The other 2 assists on the day from Miki Miyazaki and Alina Rodriguez, as those 2 and Rigas all set up Anjali Huber in the first half. And of course, Rigas' second assist coming on the second corner kick that the Vikings have scored upon. They've had 4 of them in the day and have turned 2 of them into gold. Ball forward for Huber. Comes away from her, right to Hannah Walden. Tries to scoop this one forward, and a whistle and a bit of bad luck. Either that, don't know if it was a handball or an offside flag when that one pinged off of Walden, whether she was too far forward or stopped it illegally. Either way, the substance is Cabrillo free kick in their defensive third. Miyazaki ready to re-enter in a moment for the green and white. Ball knocked down and hoofed forward now by Robertson. Half clearance only comes as far as Huber at the center stripe. Holds things up. She'll drop that back to Loera, and the bench loves it. Good decision to relieve pressure. They do invite a little bit of pressure, and the ball forward to Morel. Mishandled for a moment, but Gonzalez can't get it to stick. Now it's Huber trying to shoot one up the gut for Walden or Soboleski. A little bit too central and a little bit too strong. Out comes Zuniga, and she will claim. One DVC program that has just gotten underway is cross country as they opened up at the Crush Invitational in Fresno. Elena Mendez and Marcus Jackson, your top finishers on the women's and men's side. The times listed there. They will be in action at the Kyle Robinson Twilight Invitational on Friday night, that at Merritt College. And you can keep up with them on Instagram, Diablo Valley _XC. Shelly Pearson posts some nice videos, one of which I took that little still frame from. Good social media presence. You love that for a sports team. We got a few good ones here at DVC, for sure. The aquatics and volleyball doing their thing. Soccer, obviously. It's good to see. Let people know who you're cheering for. Corrales comes away with it here with 7 minutes left to go in our encounter. Working up the right side, sliding challenge unsuccessful from Robertson. Doesn't get the player either, though, thankfully for her. Half clearance by Hicks is to Nunez. Back out wide, Corrales looking for the cross. Back post, out comes Hernandez, and it's over the head of Madueño at the far post. Two players in that vicinity there as Mickey signals for the sub, and it'll be Pelcastre coming off. Re-entering for the Vikings, 17, Mickey Miyazaki. Last team to take a look at, and the next one to be in action is DVC Volleyball. They finished off with a pair of straight sets losses in the first small mini tournament they hosted. The DVC Tri-Series between them, Yuba and Shasta. You will notice, though, a handful of very close sets. That's the thing about volleyball. It can look like a shutout even when the game was incredibly close. Ryan Jones, the killer. Ahime Mercado, the assister. And Eva Gazvini on the digs. They'll be facing off with Contra Costa tomorrow at 1 p.m. and Columbia at 5 p.m. Those two teams will face off with one another at 3. You can come down to the gym and get your fill of DVC volleyball, or you can watch that here on the DVC Athletics YouTube page. Throw in to Angie Huber. Time continuing to tick here in Pleasant Hill as the challenge will have the ball out of play. Cabrillo with the throw-in. Taken away by Miyazaki. They continue to battle for it at the far sideline. Comes free for a moment, now cleared by the number 8, Monse Ramirez. Annalie Flores remains in the game with the yellow card over at left back. Nunez. Forward for the 19. Calling for the through ball was Nunez as she handed it off to Gonzalez, not quite able to curl it around the Viking defender and keep it in play. Out for a DVC throw. So one last time we will remind you of what is coming up this weekend at DVC. Only home events are the volleyball games tomorrow. Otherwise, men's water polo in Stockton Friday and Saturday. Football. There are a couple of things that are wrong, by the way, on the times for the Antilla tournament. That shouldn't be tomorrow at 5. That is Saturday. And the Cabrillo game for water polo, I believe, is Friday at 6:25 p.m. I need a copy editor or fewer jobs. Either way, though, that's what you've got to look forward to this weekend, and DVC football on the road in Eureka at the College of the Redwoods. And, of course, for DVC women's soccer, a radio call coming Friday as the Vikings go in pursuit of a milestone victory for Coach Colleen Mullins. Number 199 is just 4 minutes away, with them leading 4-0. They will take on Woodland, who they defeated last year 8-0. Looking to get to that nice, pretty round number. There's a through ball here as they try to make 199 a clean sheet. Ball cleared by Hannah Morel, scorer of the last goal. That one's going to take a funky bounce and almost gives Hannah Walden a chance to get onto that one. The clearance with her pressure on the goalkeeper. It is, stop me if you've heard this name before, Arden Salascunha. The one defending that one despite the tricky hop that it took after it was booted forward by Morel. Haven't had many stops in this second half, just a handful of substitutions, as that is a sliding challenge and a good one by Anjali Huber, and a second on the ball. Referee signals that he's fine with it, and Alina Rodriguez on the third bite at the apple is the one to come away with the ball. Huber pushing towards the left side into the corner. See if she's looking to live there. Banks that off of Corrales, and it is out for a Viking corner kick. Two minutes, 30 seconds left in this one here. Little malfunction on the scoreboard clock and got an early stop on that one. But 2:17 to go here as the Vikings get ready to put in their fifth corner kick of the day. 2 of the first 4 have ended up in the back of the net. 1 courtesy of Anjali Huber, 1 from Hannah Morel. It's been Cami Regas both times. This time she and Huber camp out and work the ball short. Regas on it. Looks to cut around a defender. Let's rip for the top right corner, but won't quite find the target. 9th Viking shot. 6 of them have been on frame and 4 in the back of the net on a splendid day for supporters of the green and white. Victory number 1 in what has been a tough start to the 2025 campaign. Just moments away. Clocks are stopped here at Vikings Field and on DVC Vikings Live, and it's in the hands of Domenico De Luca, who will let us know when it's time to celebrate. Opportunity there as that ball battled for by Soboleski. And the Cabrillo defense. Ball is out, last touched by Emma. Ball reclaimed by the Vikings. Miyazaki now cleared. Knocked down by Maila. Miyazaki near the center circle, now to Cami Regas within it. Drop back to Maila. Hicks forward to Soboleski. Players converge. She finds happy feet. Miyazaki, Regas. Loera. Vikings looking for a strong finish here in possession. And just liking the focus and the knowledge of how to move with and without the ball, and just doing that right to the finish line here, even in a 4-0 result. Ball forward here for Isela Gonzalez. Robertson with her feet on the hips and on the ball, able to deflect that away. Comes free to Corrales, back to Gonzalez. Now it'll be Gonzalez and Huber. She cuts inside of Huber, knocks it towards her captain, Marissa Freeman. Drop back for Yadira Gonzalez. Her first touch carries it too long. Regas will clear. Up the right sideline, Soboleski in pursuit. Poked out by Annalie Flores just before it gets to her. Throw in to come, and the signal from Mr. De Luca is 2 minutes. Little bit of time for a handful of substitutions. Obviously a stoppage for the yellow card to Flores. Just the 1 second half goal, that courtesy of Hannah Morel off a corner kick hit by Cami Regas. But it made things a little bit calmer here in Viking land. Long ball in search of Zavala, cleared from in front of her by Bella Hernandez. She has been called on 4 times today. She has responded present each time and seems set to earn her first collegiate clean sheet in about 90 seconds. Regas over the top looking for Alina. Popped up from in front of her. Ball will stay in play, at least for a moment. Claimed by Huber, but she cannot direct it in play. It's out into the mud. And that'll keep the clock ticking as Cabrillo go looking for one that's maybe in slightly better condition. We'll go grab the ball over by Alessandra Zuniga instead. Throw in taken here and claimed by Amanda Robertson. Rodriguez trying to protect from the pressure of Nunez. Ball out for a Cabrillo throw. Huber punches that one out, and it's a second ball into the mud. Referee either checking his watch or stopping it, realizing that in theory this could be a time-wasting strategy. In practice, it's just hilarious. Colleen Mullins out to get those and attempt to clean them off. The throw-in taken by Nunez. Huber blocks the attempt from Freeman to bring it forward. Rodriguez banks it off of Nunez, and it stays right here at the near sideline. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a DVC victory here today as the Vikings claim number 1 of 2025 and number 199 in the career of Coach Colleen Mullins. We are going to, of course, tell the assembled masses all about it. And that's all she wrote, Vikings fans. Our final score, DVC 4, Cabrillo 0. Goals in the first half in the 10th, 15th, and 35th minutes from the hat-trick hero, number 7, Anjali Huber. Hannah Morell with the goal off the corner kick in the 63rd minute, her first in green and white. 2 assists from Cami Regas, 1 apiece from Alina Rodriguez and Miki Miyazaki. A banner day on helpers from the DVC midfield. We thank you for attending today's game, folks. You can next see the green and white here in Pleasant Hill on Tuesday, September 16th, when they welcome De Anza College of Cupertino for a 4 p.m. kickoff. If you can't make it to the field, you can watch the live stream on DVC Athletics' YouTube page. Before that, DVC are in action at Woodland Community College on Friday afternoon. Elsewhere in Vikings land, volleyball welcomes Contra Costa and Columbia at the gym tomorrow afternoon for the DVC Classic. Away from Pleasant Hill, men's water polo travels to Stockton for the Antilla Tournament Friday and Saturday. Cross country competes at the Kyle Robinson Twilight Invitational at Merritt on Friday evening. And football heads to Eureka for a Saturday road game against Redwoods. To follow along with all of it, point your browser to dvcvikings.com, your source for all things green and white. Thanks for your support, Vikings fans. Get home safe, and we'll see you next time. And, of course, for those of you that follow the live streams, next time is going to be just 3 days from now when DVC take on Woodland Community College. That not planned, so don't trust the graphic in a moment. But we will be bringing you a radio live stream of that game as DVC go in search of a landmark win for their head coach, sitting now on 199 in an illustrious career here at DVC. Until then, for everybody who helps make DVC Athletics happen, this is Joe Hickey wishing you dreams of green. Till next time, so long.